Hey guys, it's Tomatoda, and today's video is going to be about Daiso Clay. I've always been very curious about what it's like to craft with it. I know a lot of people use it for slime, but I was hoping that maybe it would be good for sculpting and stuff too. So here is a review. This is what the box looks like. I only got white because I wanted to mix colors with it instead of buying the whole range in case I didn't like it. It says for ages 3 and up, and here is the back of the box. You can pause it to read everything. And then here are some of the warnings. Pretty much don't eat it. Now I've already opened this because I wanted to test it out before this video, and I put it in a Ziploc bag. It's so soft. It is so nice to just squeeze in your hands. Oh my gosh. It doesn't really stretch out, it just rips apart. It does dry fairly quickly, so that's one thing that I don't like about it is I have to work really quick. You can also put it through your pasta machine. Look at that. It cuts very smoothly. Use this new stamp. No ink. Ooh. I'll use this design. It cuts out nicely, but it's a little bit difficult to not mess up this side. This side looks nice. Now I'm gonna put this aside because I want to compare it to how it works when it's dry. These have been dried for about a few days. You can see I colored some of these. So the instructions say that it takes a few days to dry, but for me it took about 1 day. Cuts well. The texture when it dries feels like foam paper. These are colored. That was maybe too chunky. Oh my gosh, BFS forever! Alright, scissors. Can I make a heart shape? Yes. No! I don't even want to try to stamp. Now, the instructions also said when it's dry to wet your hands and to work with it and it'll come back to life. One thing I do like about this clay though is that it washes off from your hands very easily, so you don't have to be stuck scrubbing. It just melts off. Now we're gonna go on to the coloring. The reason why I saved this part is because I wanted to show it to you guys through crafting. I'm gonna make this Pikachu Ghost because it's mostly white. So first I'm going to make it into a ball, which is kind of hard because it just cracks everywhere. See, it just doesn't work smoothly. I have my cup of water here. Just going to smooth it out. See, it just smooths out everything nicely, but it also makes it kind of like pasty. Yeah, water just dissolves this shit. I'm going to set this aside and start working on the ears. And see my messy hand? I'm going to use my best friend because that's what best friends are here for, to be used. Now let's attach the ears. I'm going to attach them with water. Okay, never mind. The ears are way too huge. Let me retry. Next, we're going to make the orange part of the hat, and this is my recommended way of coloring the Daiso Clay using chalk pastel powder. The pros and cons of using powdered pigments is pro, the consistency of the clay does not change. Con, it takes a lot of fucking pigments. Of course, this is just my experience, so if you have better powdered pigments, maybe your results might be different. Beautiful. Look at that. Alright, let's make the hat. There we go. Next is the black. I'm going to use acrylic paint. This is the method that I personally would not recommend. Pros and cons. Pros. The color is very saturated and it works quickly. Cons. It gets fucking messy everywhere. And it changes the consistency, so it's not like once the pigment has gone through, it'll stop being sticky. The whole time you're working with it, it's sticky. And it's crumbly, but this is just my experience. Next, ears. Okay, so now our Pikachu Ghost body is done. I'm going to use acrylic paint to paint on the face later. I want the surface to kind of dry before I start that. Here is a little Sumiko ghost I made. It's completely dried. I was gonna make it into a magnet. I need to gloss it with UV resin first. I'm gonna stick this in the back so that I get a good grip. Now, I like to do 3 coats because the first coat, it seems like the clay just soaks it up. It also does lighten the color, but I'm also afraid that it's gonna like dissolve. So I coat a section really quickly and then flash cure it with my lamp. Oh yeah, before I finish, let me show you a comparison. Alright, this one has already been coated in UV resin 3 times. Do you see how the color has lightened up on this side? Yeah, that was all I wanted to show you. Coat number 1 finished. Coat number 2 is to go over spots that I missed. And coat number 3 is to just make it very smooth. I'm going to cure it in my lamp for 3 minutes. Yeah, when the front is finished, you're going to also cure the back, and I also, cured the magnet inside of it. It's very, very super duper light. Like, crazy light. Now moving back onto the Pikachu. Yes, it's not like dry, but it's dry enough that I'm gonna start painting because I am impatient. One thing I'm glad about is that the paint, it doesn't bleed. Now the black paint has to dry a bit before I can do the white dots. So in the meanwhile, I'm going to try something new that I haven't tried before, which is dusting on the powder. Yeah, that was not a very, very good choice, but it is a choice I have to live with. And while we wait for the eyes to dry, let's try something that I'm kind of curious about that I didn't try before. Alcohol ink! Alcohol ink isn't too bad, especially compared to the fucking mess that acrylic paint made. I mean, it's not as clean as powder, but it's less of a hassle than acrylic paint. Me gusta! The alcohol ink did stain my hands though. Anyways, I think that should be good enough. I'm just going to add the white dots. And there we have it. Our shitty Daiso Clay Pikachu Ghost thingamajig. Now, bottom line, would I recommend Daiso Clay for crafting? No. Although it is cheap, it is fun, it is not a very good clay to work with. Anyways, I hope you guys like this review, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye! You can even roll it into a blunt